I hate you. Greetings and salutations, gamers. Welcome to Cast Co-op, the podcast in which three podcast hosts cast together. I am one of your hosts and the most professional of the three, Luke Lore, the insipid
questionable
ghost, joined by the master complainer, master of other things too, Mr. Ainsley Bowden from Seasoned Gaming. Never happy with the work we put in. Really frustrating.
That's not
really
true.
That's just it's just ridiculous.
In my defense, I don't put in a lot of work. I am playing Cult of the Lamb right now, and I just turned it off.
Oh my god. What's up, guys? Good to be back with you guys. I love chatting with you. I'm actually annoyed that there's not enough gaming news for us to talk bi-weekly like we normally do.
Yeah.
Because I miss sitting down and just laughing with you guys.
What do you think that is?
Summer.
Yeah, summer. That's probably
It's
it.
true.
I mean,
Yeah.
we're due for, I would argue, a crowded news fall. You know what I mean? And a quiet December. But I would think in September, news starts kicking pretty hard.
Wait for Sony to announce, man. I'm ready for Sony to do whatever they're gonna do.
I think the announcement comes after Summer Games Fest. You want to know how I know this? Every other Sony insider said it was sometime in August they would announce it.
When Activision and Xbox are closing.
Yeah. 2 weeks from now, when the Activision Blizzard deal closes, Sony will announce their state of play or whatever. Future Game Show. It's dumb. Just say the PlayStation Experience. Just rebrand it. Yeah.
Ainsley Bowden and I are joined by Mr. Joseph Moran, host of the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast, friend of the PlayStation Insiders, right here. Joe, how are you?
No, I'm not. I'm doing fantastic, man. Listen, it's been too long since we've been podcasting, and now here we are.
Yeah,
podcasting together.
We're not good at intros on this show. We're terrible.
No, we're really not. We're struggling.
Yeah.
And I think it's due to Luke's blank stare.
What? You know what it was? I was looking at my goddamn eyes. You got me psyched out. I actually have eye issues, like real ones. And I can't seem to get them to fix. So I wear the glasses, and you point it out every time. So now I'm just addressing. Now I'm staring at it. I'm like, oh my goch, can you see it?
And now you got blue light and the red eyes, which has like this purple effect, like you're the Emperor in Return of the Jedi.
Anakin, do it. I concocted this plan to get myself almost killed multiple times. It's crazy. It's crazy. Well, boys, the big topic and theme of our show, at least what we think it's going to be, is going to be delays. We've had a lot of delays announced, but before we get to that, and I'd like to just kind of hold off as we settle in. I'm curious, and we don't usually start this way, but what have you been playing a lot? I've heard a lot about this Cult of the Lamb. Joe, you said you were playing it right beforehand. You guys have played it. I haven't.
Yeah.
It's good. It looks like not my kind of game, so I'm curious.
Really good.
It's really good. The only thing that's holding this game back for me is the end game bugs. There are a lot of times where I'm doing a really good run in a dungeon late game, and like the door doesn't open to the next room because like an enemy is stuck outside of the arena, or like it's somewhere unreachable. So that sucks. And when you do too many rituals at once, or in a short period of time, and they never get old, by the way, but then like the game crashes and you gotta reboot the app. But other than that, the game is fantastic. It is, well, a lot of people have been saying it's like Binding of Isaac meets Animal Crossing, where you have this roguelite or roguelike dungeon that you have to go through and to get to the end boss. It's randomly generated. The weapons are randomly generated, unlike Oblivion, which was tailor-made, but like 100 of them. Anyway.
Oh gosh, that's a deep callback. I don't know what
deep callback. It's a deep callback. So it's actually randomly generated, and then like once you get past this boss, you can keep on going, and it gets harder and harder until you either die or you go back to your cult. And you go back to your cult, everybody's these cute woodland animals and you're sacrificing things to Cthulhu monsters. You're having,
So you killed me and resurrected me or something? What is this?
I killed. So here's what happened. First off, I brought you into my cult. You started revolting against the cult ASAP.
Damn right. That's right. That's right.
It's amazing how realistic the game is.
That's right.
It really is. It really is. And then I put you in prison, and then I turned you into a loyal follower, and then I had the chance to kill you because once you were out of prison, you were old. But I decided to send you to heaven. But I am planning on making a Luke 2. And which, funny enough, like I made everybody, like Ains has one. Ains just died of old age off screen.
I told you how realistic it is. It's right there.
And Ains died of old age.
True to form.
Kyle, my co-host, I made a little avatar of him.
Mm-hmm.
This version of Kyle, a complete asshole. Like he's like, I want people sacrificed. I want people like working overtime, no sleep for these people. I want people to fight in the arena. I want to see this one guy eat his own shit. Like that was Kyle in a nutshell. And then one day he just plops dead. And so I'm like, all right, his reign of terror has ended. And what you get to do if you don't sacrifice them or that beam them up to heaven, you can either bury them or you could turn them into meat. And so that's what you did to Kyle. And I let my cultists eat them.
Joe, you know how there's like you get the day and night cycle, right? And there's the short period that's night. Is that the only time you ever see Luke?
That's actually ironically.
We just talked about how I'm self-conscious about this. Damn shame right here.
But the game, honestly, Ains, I don't know about you. This is man, really just stellar in my book. Like this
really
is
good. Yeah,
this is probably up there, like top 3 games I've played this year.
Yeah, I don't know how high I am on it yet. I'm not as far as you. I'm about to reach the second end boss, so I'm about halfway. I really like it. I think that I haven't experienced any bugs because I know Hogue and Travis were talking about a lot of people experiencing some bugs. I saw they posted about that, but I haven't had any yet anyway. But no, I'm having a good time with it. I've made one major glaring fault. So one of my weird intricacies of the many is that when I play a game where you name characters or create your own character, the name always has to start with an A.
Really?
Every male in my family starts with an A, every guy. So I always start all the names with an A, which I did in my cult. So you can randomize the name. I randomize until it comes up with the first A name, and then I take it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The problem is now when I walk around my cult with all these people, it's like, go talk to Arbalog. And I'm like, oh shit, which one's Arbalog? So I literally have to go to every single one constantly because I have no idea who's who anymore. But
I have so many that it's hard to keep. Like, I'm like, where are they all? Because I got to a point where I have like 30 followers in my camp, and now I'm purposely killing them so I could just start getting to a lower number.
Yeah,
is that good? Is that because I haven't played it? Do you want?
Yeah, you can sacrifice people.
Yeah,
no, you want more, but well, go ahead, Joe. You know better than me.
You want like a slow growth. You do want at the end of it, you should have about like 20 followers, all worshiping you. And that'll get you a decent amount. So like to me in the beginning, I didn't know how to manage stuff well. And so I was like, oh damn, I have like no lumber. I have no like stone. And so what I ended up doing was I made like stone quarries and like wood shops to collect all those things. And I made like 3 or 4 of each so that I just had ample production. What I really ended up treating this game as was actually not like I was playing Animal Crossing, but more like I was playing like Civ or Age of Empires. And when I came at it through that lens, I really liked the camp management a whole lot more. When I thought through it through, I'm just playing Age of Empires. Okay, this is gonna be good. Nice. So that's pretty much what I've done.
I would say the one thing for me, and again, I know can be weird on this stuff, is that the actual when you do your runs, like they're fun, but they're pretty repetitive, and the what do you call it? Like the complexity of the combat is very simple. Like it's just hack and slash with a curse ability. It's not like Hades level or some of these other games where there's a lot of abilities and kind of different things you can do, which make it deeper. but no, so it's a little too simple for my taste in that regard. But I'd enjoy the other stuff, and I don't even like management games. Like I don't generally play those, but I'm really liking this one.
When you get different weapons, it gets a little bit more intricate, but I understand it is pretty simple. The one thing I wasn't liking in the beginning is that the arenas were a little bit too small for me.
Yeah.
And there's too much like bullshit in the way. As you go through the arenas become bigger and bigger.
Good.
And the enemies you're fighting are more intricate, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so is this a flash in the pan excitement, or do you think this is going to have legs? Because like As Dusk Falls, that fell off pretty quick. There were a couple other indies this year that like came and surprised us and fell off quick. I mean, Shredder's Revenge was, I think, had a big splash.
So good. I think it'll still be like Shredder's Revenge. It'll have its week or two for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I think people will mention at the end of the year only because this is a genre where people really latch on. Roguelites, just like they have this huge community that really enjoys them, and this is a good one. So it'll be mentioned.
Okay. Well, that's good.
I think it may even win. I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
Really?
Anymore.
I haven't played
really
it, but
like
I mean, like, I don't sense the buzz, I guess is why.
It's not going to win like the major awards now. Not in a year that has Elden Ring and God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah. No, but like the indie stuff, like
indie stuff, it could be up there. Yeah, for sure.
Have we talked since God of War pre-orders? I feel like we have. We're all getting the cool hammer.
Yeah. I got. You know, the spoiler alert. There's spoilers for God of War about to come out. Everybody's saying so. Just be on the lookout. You know, go up on like Wikipedia, look up a whole bunch of Norse shit, start muting those words. Because who knows what's gonna happen? Who knows? But people say they say things and they know things, and just a
lot of people say they know things and have no evidence, shred proof, or anything else, and then they play dumb like they didn't just say that a week ago in a video. It's like, what are you talking about?
Go for it. I'm sorry.
Sorry. No. I was just going to mention Def said they have a roadmap for content, which we forgot to mention. Massive Monster, who made Cult of the Lamb, does have free content additions coming for the game as well. So it's not like a release and done type thing.
Yeah. I wonder with those leaks, when it comes to God of War, is it people are scared to leak them because Sony will go after them? Or is it just like the respect thing of like, ooh, this will villainize us a bit if we do it, or a combo of both? What do you think, Ains?
I don't know. I hope both.
Yeah.
I hope it happens to anyone who leaks stuff like this. Luckily, I've been safe so far. I'm usually pretty good about avoiding that stuff, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it. Like, I don't give a crap about a spoiler. I know what happens in Final Fantasy VII. I still really like that game. You know, I know what happened in Last of Us 2. It didn't take away my enjoyment of Last of Us 2.
How about my old buddy that when I told you guys that I deleted the account off that old gaming forum after he spoiled Halo 4 for me, and my old buddy found our cast video and responded and said he was there.
Oh God,
I do remember that. That's right.
Did you see that comment? Yeah, he actually DM'd me. He's like, well, I'm not going to say his name on cast, but so we were talking the other day. It's pretty funny.
That's cool. Yeah. I have found this will sound, it's very particular, but only in the most specific of things do I care about spoilers. But like, if you were to tell me what happened in God of War Ragnarok, that wouldn't change my excitement level. You could have told me the end of Avengers Endgame, it wouldn't change my excitement level. So it just depends, I think, about what it is.
For me, I can't stand him. I'm one of those guys that goes nuts. Like,
yeah, and honest to God, too, to me, like the thing that like kind of breaks me is like, you're not spoiling it for, again, I don't care, but like you're really ruining it for the people that work so hard on this game, and you're not even letting them tell their story the way that they want it to be told, right? You're going to snip a 30-second thing out that's obviously not finished, and then you're going to have, some Xbox trolls, take it and run with it, and that's going to be the narrative for the next few months. It really is a bummer.
Yeah.
I don't like that one bit.
I don't like when it kills other people. I'm sorry, I cut you off, Ains, but like, I don't like when it kills the hype. I'm seeing Kevin's comment in chat. What's up, Kevin? Like, it kills his hype. It kills your hype. That's what kills my excitement, is seeing you get sad about it or whatnot. Because like, I wasn't excited for Elden Ring at all, and then I got excited by way of you. You know what I mean? Like you were the catalyst that said, you know what, I'm gonna try this. I want to be part of this conversation. And that can sometimes ruin it. But like you could have told me what happened in Top Gun, I would have still loved it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
I knew that Goose died in Top Gun when I watched it. Didn't take away from
Spoilers.
Goose die.
It wouldn't ruin my enjoyment of like Ragnarok. But it would annoy me. So, but I think you're right, Joe. I think they're just crappy people. Let's call it what it is, right? It's crappy people that want to ruin other people's fun. There's nothing worse than someone else that purposely spends time and energy trying to ruin things for other people. I mean, how pathetic of a person do you have to be?
Yeah. And comedically, they do it because they think it's funny. It's like, wow. Like
those people are fun at parties. Have loads of friends and family that respect them.
You know what else I've been playing, boys? Little game
yes,
called Anthem.
Sir. Now, Ains, as a diehard Anthem fan myself, I, honest to God, see, Joe, before you, Ains, when Anthem was out, Joe and I, it was just me and Joe, and like our buddies on that side. We didn't have the seasoned gaming crew. So it was only me playing Anthem. And all I heard every day was, oh, you're playing a bad game. That's Anthem. It sucks. Game is beautiful. Best flight controls to combat in any game. Flight to combat, like from run out to flight to combat. It's just so cool.
It's amazing.
Oh, and that soundtrack, man.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss.
Well, Ainge, you no longer get to talk shit about Marvel's Avengers to us, you know.
I did turn that on the other day, by the way, and I turned it off in about 3 minutes.
There you go. If you're trying to get Anthem out of it, you don't get to the Anthem part until.
No, I didn't even play it. I got to the intro with the actual what's the ship called? The Avengers ship? I don't know.
The helicarrier?
They're flying shit.
God, you're
and
old.
I got to the characters, and I was just like, yeah, I'm already bored.
I think I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
See, it's what's so annoying is you're not bored even because of the gameplay. You're like, no, it's Avengers. I don't like the Avengers.
Pretty much.
They're the freaking Avengers.
It's a guy with he's a spider and a man. Come on.
How many bugs we got men of or something? Whatever the quote is.
Right.
You know?
You're telling me there's a man and a Spider-Man, and I'm supposed to believe that? Come on.
Yeah, and there's a beetle that's blue for some reason. How ridiculous!
Got wrong universe.
Jesus.
I will say, and Ains, this is between just you and me and no one else. It's just you and me, right? Joe was telling me privately he's really upset about the new Captain America.
I heard that.
Have you heard about this?
I heard that. Yeah,
he's on my cap.
It's disappointing. You know, you expect better out of someone like Joe, but just so you know, the world's a weird place.
Yeah, it's a damn shame. It's a damn shame. We got a lively chat tonight, by the way. Hello to all of you. It's good to see you guys.
What's going on, everyone?
Yeah. Sean Capri asked a question. He said, why is the L in your name lowercase L and the rest of the letters are capital? I mean, I don't even get it. Oh, he means like
in the little
font
tag. I think it's because Ains doesn't respect you, but he respects me.
Oh, okay.
I think actually, I don't know.
It says the only one with 3 letters in his name.
No, see, there actually is a little. There is a little.
It's a little tail.
Yeah, it's just it's the graphic design font. That's all. Yeah, I didn't make it, by the way. But
hey, can we talk about how Sony's dead?
God, every week we talk about that.
When are we getting to that?
Let's talk about the fact that we've got a number of delays that keep hitting. And despite that, I still feel like fall is still crowded. However, today I was sad to find this is my second most frustration for delayed games. Evil West was delayed into November. Yeah. Evil West was set to be in September, I believe. Yeah, September 20th. And now it's November 22nd, which is kind of a bummer. For sure, like I was bummed to see that, but then we've seen Midnight Suns.
Midnight Suns delayed till who knows when.
Who knows when?
Yeah, basically delayed a whole year.
Yeah, and
good.
The PS4 and Xbox One versions till.
And what was the game? The Hogwarts
Legacy.
They're like, yeah, we'll tell you about Switch at some point.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Shit, that is supposed to be on Switch.
That game looks like it would.
It is going to Switch, but no, I think it's going to be the cloud thing they do for the big AAA stuff. And they probably they're so focused on getting the other ones out, they don't have time to finish that up right now. So, but yeah, February for that.
February 10th. February 10th.
Is it 10th? Why did I think 20th? Yeah, February 10th. You're right. I'm really excited for Hogwarts, honestly.
Yeah.
We were talking on Bigcast about, because it's a Harry Potter game and they did that awesome state of play with it, right? That Sony did. And then they kind of given the promise of, you always wanted to go to Hogwarts and be a student at Hogwarts. And like, you're talking about like 20 plus years or 20, however long it's been now, of memories of people into this franchise, millions of people who have their own version running around in their mind of what it would be like to go to Hogwarts. And you're kind of promising that with this game. So unless this game is incredibly well polished and as deep as we're all expecting it's going to be, there's going to be some I expect some major disappointment here along the way.
Oh really? You think so?
No, I agree with him.
I don't know how you promise people they can go to Hogwarts, experience the classes, to go to the schools, play Quidditch, basically everything that you would want to do if you were in the Harry Potter universe. I don't see how they create that and actually have it all be meaningful. We'll see. I hope they do. Don't get me wrong, as always. I hope they do. But I'm a little worried that people are going to go in with these grandiose expectations and it's going to fall kind of mid for them.
Well, no, that's fair. Sorry, Luke, go for it.
I was with Miles this past weekend and enjoyed it. We had a really good conversation, but I feel like with the Harry Potter license, can't afford to take the hit right now, whereas Batman, but the name alone kind of lets you out. So if WB had to pick one of the two, delaying Hogwarts to make sure that is a masterpiece for all the reasons Ains said makes more sense given the trepidation surrounding Gotham Knights and the fact that regardless of what happens with Gotham Knights, the next Batman game is fine.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas I think Harry Potter is in a little bit more of a limbo because of Fantastic Beasts being less popular, and then they have J.K. Rowling shtick. And then you have a lot of kind of ins and outs. Is it good, not good? And I think it can't afford to take the hit in the game space, whereas the Batman franchise can. And that's a theory. I don't know. What do you guys think?
No, that's a good point. Because I was like, well, Fallen Order made me feel like a Jedi, but at the same exact time, there's so many other Star Wars games that made me feel like a Jedi, and there's been also so many Star Wars games that have been rather mediocre. But then you remember the great ones like Rogue Squadron or Republic Commando or anything like that. So you forget about like Terracasi Arena. So when I think about like Harry Potter, yeah, how much Harry Potter stuff has there really been? And is that IP still as relevant as it once was, given whatever you think about J.K. Rowling? I don't care.
Given you mean this masterpiece of a game?
Yes.
Masters of the Terracasi?
Yeah, man.
That's right.
Referenced in a good movie that was Solo.
That's right. I agree. Also, this is another gem. I'm giving these a shout out. These are just Rebel Assault 2.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good one.
Dude.
Good one.
Oh. I'm interrupting only to say there's a Polymega. Have you guys heard of a Polymega? It's a system that like plays
I told you I have one on order.
Oh, that's right. Ains, will you buy me one? I'm a little hard up for cash right now, but I really want one. Like
So wait, not to take us off track, but wait, because they have not shown yet the promise of actually delivering anything. I've had that on order for since the beginning of this year, so about 7 months. And they said pre-orders were shipping soon back in June, and no one I know still has one.
And what's the name of this thing? I would like to look it up.
Polymega. I really want one.
Exactly as it sounds. It's essentially a to be clear, Luke, I saw this at E3 in 2019. It was under a different name. And they've rebranded and kind of redone this. So basically what it is, it's a retro console that you can plug your old games into. And then they're building individual modules for each console. So if you want to play N64, you plug the N64 one into it, or Genesis or Super Nintendo, etc. So I actually ordered the whole deluxe bundle with everything. So I'll let you know when I get it, and we'll see.
Next time you are going to buy a statue, hold off. Say, you know what? I'm going to buy my friend Luke a deluxe bundle, and we'll just call it evens on all this content that I produce for Season Gaming. Hey, what do you think?
All this content?
I promised content.
Holy shit, this thing is cool looking, y'all.
It is cool. I want one. And this is the kicker. If it works, right? Like, we don't know.
Yeah.
Once you put your cartridge in, you never have to put it in again.
It downloads it as a ROM.
No, that is awesome.
Yeah. And I want that. I just want to play Rogue Squadron.
Yeah.
And Rebel.
Eric just said that's one expensive course review.
Hey, Eric, I also did several print interviews. Skull and Bones. That was a great feature.
It was
That's
actually. Right. It was. I agree with you.
6 or
Anyway,
7
what
people
the hell
read
were
that.
we talking about?
Harry
Potter.
I was interrupting Joe because I got excited when he said Terrascasi. Harry Potter.
The big thing with so for those of you who don't know about Hogwarts Legacy, this game has been in development for a very long time. There were banners for this game at E3 2018. It's been in development that long. And remember that this is Portkey Games making this game. This is not a proven big blockbuster AAA developer. So I want this game to be amazing. The state of play for it actually got me more excited about it. I thought it looked really good, but they have a lot to prove. And I think that it's been delayed a couple times already. They need to make sure that they get this one right, because if this comes out flat, it's not the type of game that's going to recover. This is a single player kind of RPG experience, right? You need it to land as a big AAA Harry Potter title for WB.
This is a game that I think is going to be an entry point for a lot of people into Harry Potter.
That's another thing that goes back to what I was saying, right? So you've got to meet this expectation of teaching someone everything that's supposedly cool, right? That people love about Harry Potter. I didn't mean that sarcastically. That people love about Harry Potter. But at the same time, the person who has lived Harry Potter for 20 years is going to jump into this game and want to be their own wizard at Hogwarts. And how do you satisfy that expectation? That's not easy to do.
Yeah. No, I mean, how many people saw Jedi Fallen Order and were able to get into Star Wars, or play Jedi Fallen Order, able to get into Souls games?
That was an awesome game. But that's Respawn, right? Like, we know Respawn makes great games.
Sure. But the idea is that, like, a game with all the art and franchise love, et cetera, yeah, I see it too. Yeah, we'll talk about it in a minute.
Okay.
Can be a good entry point for anyone into something else. You know what I mean? There's so much art and music in a game that it can be a wonderful gateway to a new medium or to a new genre, a new franchise. And that's why that's the weight that games carry versus other things, other forms of media, which is crazy, you know? Yeah, let's bring up Peter's comment. I'm so excited.
Yeah, so guy, for audio listeners, Peter W says, I got my Polymega this year, although I pre-ordered it somewhere in 2019. Damn. So as I said, the company has been kind of slow. Now, of course, I'm sure they're being a small company. They're subject to the delays and hard ups of getting hardware out the door. So I don't know, but I told him to hit me up because I would love to ask some questions about it. So.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I'd like to know his insights with.
What else? So why don't we talk about then what we actually have coming this fall? Because I was thinking about that. I mean, obviously, I think far and away the big hitters are God of War Ragnarok and Modern Warfare 2, right? I mean, those are the gigantic elephants in the room. But we're also getting Gotham Knights. Here in a few weeks, we're getting next week we get Saints Row. We also get Plague Tale Requiem.
Splatoon 3.
Splatoon 3. We get new Pokemons. Those, I know it's usually not our audience, but those are games will be probably sell more than everything else we talk about, other than maybe Call of Duty.
Resident Evil expansion.
Resident Evil Village expansion. Yes.
Did the Biomutants next gen update?
Yes. See, I'm getting in his head, guys. I'm getting in his head. Biomutant.
Oh, did we say already?
We did. I'm looking at the list of stuff that's coming out and stuff that's not. And it's funny because a lot of the stuff Deliver Us Mars also took a hit out of September. That's delayed.
Callisto Protocol. Thank you, Eric. Good Lord.
That's December. Yeah. You went far. I was thinking.
Hot damn. Well, I'm just looking at my fantasy league against the Xbox Drive since Sean Capri's in the chat. We have Tactics Ogre, which is now on our fantasy league. So second Sean Capri. We got Callisto Protocol, which Sean's like, there's no way that game's coming out. First off, I'm living rent free in this boy's head. He said, no way Callisto Protocol is getting delayed. I'm going to tell you,
I think absolutely that's delayed.
I think no way.
Callisto Protocol? No, it's releasing.
No, it's releasing.
You think so? Do you really think so?
Yeah.
I feel like we've seen so little on it.
We have Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion, which is supposed to come out.
Okay.
in November. No, that actually looks good.
High on Life, Eric said. That's a
There you
that
go.
looks cool.
Pentiment, that's from Obsidian, right? That weird game.
Yep.
Please clap. We have World of Warcraft Dragonflight, which looks super mid. Sean, why do you have that? Why do you have that? A World of Warcraft expansion that is the Dragonflight again? Sean, come on. Come on. Get your head out of the clouds.
Well,
foolish.
Can we go back to the core behind why I think Callisto's out?
Yeah.
Is we haven't seen gameplay. When's the right time to see gameplay for a game? If Callisto's December, we're August.
We see gameplay.
We have seen gameplay.
Full, systematic, this game is ready type gameplay. Really?
Glenn Schofield did a 15-minute demo 2 months ago of it.
I remember that. I remember the event, but I thought that was vertical.
No, they did. They did a vertical, then they did a gameplay one.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So when's the right time to? We've seen games right now. We're seeing games that are coming out in 2 months get delayed. Right, 2 months out, they're getting delayed. When's the right time to show, announce, prepare for release dates versus stuff that's staying stacked into our fall?
I don't know. You got to remember, Callisto is December 2nd, right? So it's right at the tail end of the year, which means it's also now a month after the hitters we're talking about, right? Modern Warfare 2. Warzone 2 just leaked today, by the way, coming out November 16th. So that'll be coming out right after basically people finish the campaign, get into Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer, and then it's boom, here's your Battle Royale expansion. And then God of War Ragnarok's November 9th. You've got Evil West November 22nd. So Callisto, they're probably getting all the hype built up now. This is my guess. Is get all the hype built over the Summer Game Fest, right? Everyone like me and Joe and the horror fans are pumped for this game, right? Then they're going to just be a little quiet to it until they get much, much closer to launch, because they're going to be overshadowed by these big blockbusters if they try to continue the hype over the next couple months.
And I think it's in a perfect position where it's right before Dead Space remake, knock on wood, that actually comes out on time. And it's far away from Ragnarok, where this is going to be a nice last hit for 2022. So I think it's 100% coming out. It's going to rank way better than World of Warcraft Dragonflight. Sean, you fool.
Wait, you guys.
They're in a fantasy league.
Yeah, I know,
We're
but fantasy league. Are you talking about release dates or Metacritic scores? I don't get it.
Metacritic scores, and he's betting the horse that this is gonna score high. Which World of Warcraft expansions either score pretty darn well, high 80s, or score lowish shit, or low-ish for 70s or 80s.
Oh.
So
I would imagine the number. I was going to say, I'd imagine the number of reviewers that do a review on Dragonflight is going to be a lot smaller than something like Callisto or God of War.
It's a lot of jaded, because that audience, man, it's a lot of jaded fans at this point. So World of Warcraft has a lot to prove.
Sure.
Because Final Fantasy is just eating its lunch. Hopefully Dragonflight does what it needs to do and delivers. But I really don't think so. The lore is in such a terrible place.
So the bet is between the Metacritic score of Callisto versus Dragonflight?
Yeah. No, just all together. We have a list of games.
Okay. Sorry.
And he's panicking. We're still projected to win, by the way. And actually bigger than we had this old podcast on Patreon, patreon.com/PS Review. And he was just oh, we're gonna fix it up. We're gonna make it look a little better, because we were winning projected to win by 9 points. Now we're projected to win by 20. So you know what, Sean? Keep those things there. Keep them there. We're good. You're good. You're gonna do great.
Callisto's gonna be high.
Callisto's gonna be very high, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's funny that
we got Bayonetta as well. And I know that.
I got beef with Bayonetta.
Go for it.
Well, it's gonna derail this part. You finish first.
Who has God of War?
We do. Now they did have Elden Ring.
Oh,
they did have Elden Ring. That's really the thing that's holding that ship together. But we do have God of War. We have Last of Us remake. We have Bayonetta. We have Callisto Protocol. And Tactics Ogre.
All right. No, nothing's going to top Elden Ring this year, but I think all combined, you sound pretty strong.
I know. Yeah.
Anyway,
if I was a Canadian podcaster right now, I'd be pretty nervous.
they have those.
Yeah, just Sean and a couple of people in igloos, I think. Yeah.
Most of them are really good people.
Yeah, they're real
They're
good.
too nice. You know, they're so nice it makes you wonder if they're actually nice. You know?
No, they're nice.
I know they're nice.
I
got nothing. I got nothing.
And Sean has soft hands, so you know.
Oh.
And he's got softer lips.
Keep talking,
Okay,
Luke.
so
Don't make it weird. Keep talking.
No, make it weird. Here's I got a beef with the Bayonetta, and I want to call out all the bad parents in the room. Okay, every single one of you. You
Dude,
see this?
I don't see what my parenting has to do with Bayonetta.
See these stupid people. They're like, oh, we're gonna take naive angel mode so the parents can play it around their kids. This is a woman who's using guns on her feet to slash, murder, slice, and maim creatures, demons, people from all over the realms. We're cool with that.
Yep.
But don't let anyone see a boob. And I think it's hilarious that people are like, oh, don't see nature. I don't want my kid to know about nature. Oh, you're going to slaughter some folks? No problem.
Sure.
You're a terrible parent. You're a terrible parent if you're like, yeah, absolutely, gun that fool down. But if you find out that that's actually a woman under there, you're a bad parent. I don't get it.
I'll say this about Bayonetta, and I'll take the heat for it, and I'm not afraid to. How are those games getting 90s? Because I've played both of them, and they're just not that great.
Bayonetta 2 was really good. I liked 2. I don't know about 90 good, but like it was really hard. I thought it was good. I think it was the Wii U bump because we were so desperate for a good game on Wii U.
Yeah.
You know?
Fair.
Like a visually impressive game, I should say. That's a fair way to put it.
Platinum Games doesn't impress me at all, so I'm the wrong person to talk to.
I think Bayonetta 2 should impress you. I don't think Platinum Games should impress you. But Bayonetta 2 was special. That game was cool.
So my question for you guys is like, besides God of War Ragnarok, because that's the easy out. Even besides Callisto, is there any like dark horse, like this is a game I'm really excited for, you know, coming out this holiday season?
Okay, so
Really?
given all the delays.
Oh, by the way, how funny is this? I didn't mean to interrupt you, Luke.
Yeah,
how funny is it? We just did this before the show started, and we just talked through all the games releasing, and we still didn't mention Skull and Bones.
Oh, no.
Tell them what happened with Skull and Bones, because that's even funnier.
So before we hit the go live button tonight, I was joking that I just got the Game Informer with Skull and Bones. I was like, remember this game? And we were laughing because I forgot about it, even though we literally have an interview with the creative director on Season Gaming that Luke did that has done very well for the site. I still don't remember this game. We had that conversation 40 minutes ago, and yet we forgot about it again.
I did the interview.
God bless.
I forgot.
I'm telling you,
God bless.
Chat, you tell us, chat. Is Skull and Bones up there on? And let's not forget, it releases one day before Ragnarok.
If it wasn't one day before Ragnarok, like a week before, maybe I would have checked this game out because I like pirate stuff, and so yeah, sure. But
the only thing to be aware of too, and I talked to Miles about this when I was on Chatterdays a few weeks ago, is that they've been real weird in the way they've displayed this game. But if you watch the 30-minute deep dive or whatever they did on this, you don't actually ever get off your boat. Do you know that? There's no third person running around and doing stuff game. You're on your boat and you can go to ports and there's menus to buy stuff and trade and other stuff, but then you're back on your boat. And if you play in co-op, you each have your own boat. You don't work together as a crew.
Interesting.
Still sounds cool to me.
It does sound cool, and that doesn't bother me, Ains. Okay. That bothered me.
It bothers me. It bothered the hell out of me.
Because like to me, if it's like Oregon Trail but like pirates, okay.
See, I loved Assassin's Creed Black Flag, so I'm actually excited about the stuff you just said.
So did I. But that's a third-person adventure game where you can go explore and do stuff.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, I'm not excited to play Skull and Bones with people. That's the difference.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like none of that's yeah. But I also wanted to note, in theory, if timelines hold, season 8 of Sea of Thieves will be around then because they're going back to 3 months or so, and season 7 just came out. So around that time of Skull and Bones will be the next major whatever hit for Sea of Thieves, whatever they choose to do, should be in that timeline unless something moves, and it certainly could because they did a 6 month or 7 month season 6, but they were planning to do 3-ish, I believe. and that's interesting in and of itself to see those two compete. I think.
Yeah, and isn't there some other pirate? Not to stay on pirate games. Isn't there some other pirate game that's like a direct copy of Sea of Thieves that's coming out? Like, I mean, it looks exactly like Sea of Thieves.
Oh, yeah, I forget what. Yeah, it's one of those like. Yeah, it's like the RC Cola, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. I'm really excited for this holiday. I think there's a lot of games that I'm pumped for. Like, I am strangely. I don't know if it's not this holiday, but I'm strangely amped for Saints Row. Like,
Are you?
I think a lot of. I don't think you're alone, Joe, because I'm the same way, and I think a lot of people. That's anecdotally, I've seen a lot of people say the same thing.
Yeah,
I heard the delay did it good.
Good.
Oh, Miles
from
did
source?
the Miles, a real source, actually went to the on-site thing they did for Saints Row, and we talked about it. He said it was awesome. He had a great time.
That's Joe. That's what I was referencing. Is like people that went to that thing
who actually played it.
Yeah, they were saying the delay served it well. I feel like Skill Up might have said that.
Do you think it's coming to Game Pass?
Do I think Saints Row is?
There's a chance.
Absolutely, it's coming to Game Pass, just not until after holiday.
At day one. All right.
No.
No. Seamus says, what insane executive decided to release Skull and Bones the day before the sequel to one of the best games of last generation?
I don't know. Bumped whatever some coke beforehand.
Well, yeah, whatever's happening at Ubisoft, I can't explain it.
God bless them.
Ubisoft is literally like trying to get themselves sold. They're basically devaluing themselves as we speak. It's wild to watch.
Yeah, it's sad to watch. But I'm excited for Saints Row because I am a Saints Row fan and I want them to go back to the kookiness of Saints Row 2 really bad. And it looks like this is them going to Saints Row 2 a bit. I'm excited for Last of Us Part 1. Oh yeah, I am. It throws stones at me. The screenshot of Sam really did sell me. I'm like, all right, I'm amped. I'll go back into this.
I'm sorry, I was trying to look up the Death Stranding thing, but you said what? Excited for what?
Oh, there is a Death Stranding. Death Stranding apparently is coming to Game Pass PC.
I saw the picture.
Yeah,
apparently that's Death Stranding.
There have been like side by side pictures of like they just removed Norman Reedus and his fetus, and it's the same landscape.
Okay.
Which is awesome. More people get to play that game. If it's true and that's coming to PC, awesome. Because honestly, that game is phenomenal. I love it so very much. It's so weird. It's my first Kojima game and I adore it. But the one that I'm most amped for is Plague Tale Requiem.
Okay.
Really? That's right. You like the first one a lot.
I loved the first one. It gets a little off the rails at the end, but like honestly, with that team and the budget that they had with the first one, now coming into the sequel, probably now bigger team, bigger budget, more ambition. I think this is gonna really impress people. I think it's gonna really wow people. And I think that's gonna be one of Xbox's big pushes since it's day one on Game Pass. But that's what I'm excited for. What about y'all?
My number one game this fall, excited for that is releasing is Callisto. I am I am a huge horror game fan. This game looks to have quite literally everything I love about horror in it. Glenn Schofield is an incredibly proven studio director who has made. It's funny we're talking about Modern Warfare 2. I mean, this is where Glenn Schofield came from. He had a hand in some huge titles. This studio, for some reason, when I heard about Striking Distance, who's making this game, I thought they were like a 40-person studio. They're like 130 people. This is not a small studio. This is going to be an amazing game. So I'm pumped for that. Goes without saying, I think almost all of us are pumped for God of War. That's right up there. The other one I would say is I'm actually incredibly pumped for Warzone 2. I'm a huge Battle Royale player. I played the hell out of Warzone. I thought it was a really good step in the right direction for Battle Royale from a Call of Duty perspective. I love PUBG. I'm playing Apex again recently. So I'm really pumped for Warzone 2, especially if it's going to be kind of in the Modern Warfare realm, which it is. That Warzone 2 is going to align with Modern Warfare 2. So it's going to have that type of weaponry and combat and stuff. So yeah, I'm pumped for that. I don't usually get pumped for Call of Duty, but that's definitely up there.
I'm excited for Modern Warfare 2. Like really excited because I really liked the reimagined Modern Warfare.
Me too.
And I like the multiplayer a lot in it. So I'm actually really excited for Modern Warfare 2. And yeah, even for the Battle Royale stuff as well. I think this Call of Duty is gonna have its hooks in us for a lot longer than Vanguard or even like, what is it? Black Ops, Cold War. Yeah.
Those games. Yeah, I joke that I get excited for Call of Duty every 3 to 4 years. This is that year. And Modern Warfare Reboot was really good. So this game is gonna demolish everything this fall. I don't think people truly have a grasp about how big Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2 are going to be this fall. It's going to be astronomical.
Yeah. And for Callisto, the actors that I've seen thus far, like, you know what? Listen, Hogue, I like Josh Duhamel. I think he's fine. But like, I love Sam Witwer, who was the voice of Maul and the voice of Palpatine. Even though he did not like A Last Jedi, he's still getting a ton of work, and the voice of Maul in Solo: A Star Wars Story. So I'm just saying, Hogue, you may have wrote a little thesis. That's cute, but I'm a real fan over here.
I'll put that out for you.
Thank you. I love you, Hogue. And Karen Fudakawa is in it, and she plays Kimiko in The Boys.
Yeah,
she's awesome. Fantastic, and I'm in love with her. So
yeah, she is awesome. She's awesome in everything. Yeah, no, that game's gonna be amazing. You know me, I'm just mentioning it because if we get whatever the BR or certain affinity mode is for Halo that we've heard about, right? That will obviously it'll go straight up to the top of my most played and most wanted, but we don't know what that is yet or when it's coming. So
I'm the only one that we haven't mentioned was Avatar. I think I might be the only one of our group that was really looking forward to that game.
Me too.
Just in the potential of what that could be. Massive, Massive's a good studio, and
yeah,
I was anxious to see what they did because I really like the Avatar universe. So I was curious about that one, but God of War, and then to all the points, Modern Warfare, and two comments on that one, Ains, that I want us to lead into a comment about how Call of Duty will impact Halo this fall, given what we think is happening with Halo.
Sure,
but then
sure.
Also,
so
yeah, that one. That's the one. Thank you. Yeah,
so,
you go ahead.
Sorry. Sean Capri in the house. Ains, how do you think MW2 will score? I don't know if this relates to your guys' fantasy scoring or not.
It does. He has the Call of Duty.
Okay, so he says 87. I think it'll be up there. I would say I think it'll be up there. I think it'll be high 80s.
87? Are you high and out of your mind? Sean Capri. Modern Warfare, which was a great game, fantastic, one of my favorites, and I think revitalized that series a great deal for so many people. On Open Critic, Sean, when you remove your head out of your ass and you go to start looking at the search, 81. So around 81, 80, 85 probably is the top. Out of your mind, 87.
I think I actually agree with Sean on this one. I think you're going to win based on what you said, but yeah.
I'm looking up the Metacritic of that one was 80.
Yeah,
I think you could do it. I think 85.
Also,
85 is your highest.
I want to say that he also had Nintendo Sports or whatever the hell that was called. 71. Mario Striker 72. So
come on. Yeah, you don't bet on Nintendo games unless it's core Mario or Zelda.
Yeah, I know. Listen, you're telling me. Though I am rooting for Splatoon 3 because I love Splatoon. And if we lost because Splatoon got a 90 that it deserves, fair.
Actually, the Hogue and Travis were trying to talk me into buying Splatoon and playing it.
Dude, yes. It's so much fun. Like it really is a great multiplayer game. It's awesome.
Yeah. I
was actually for this holiday season, I was really excited for Marvel Midnight Suns because Firaxis doesn't know how to make a bad game. I love strategy games, which is kind of like, it's like if I don't say it, I did. Well, tactics games like XCOM, I appreciate XCOM a lot. I'm not good at those games, but for like Civ, like Age of Empires, that type of stuff, Halo Wars, I love those. So Midnight Suns is Marvel IP that I really love with with a card system XCOM-esque gameplay, which I think is great, but again, just not good at. So I'm like, okay, this could be probably the thing that gets me into those like more tactics-based games. Because I think the thing that I love about Midnight Suns so much isn't just because it's Marvel and I'm a stand for them, but it reminds me of 90s Marvel, like the 90s Wolverine, right? Like the 90s, you know, like Spider-Man and all that stuff. So for me, that's what I'm actually excited about, is to get that like grittiness that the 90s had. I remember having like, binders full of like Marvel comic, like collectible cards, and seeing the Venom, and like that Venom in Midnight Suns is like just like that holographic card I had. So like that's what I'm hoping to see out of Midnight Suns. And that's why I was actually a little bummed that it didn't come out this year, because it was shaping up from what I've read, now from what I've heard from any inside source, that it was a great time that people were having with it. So yeah.
I tried to get excited for Midnight Suns. I couldn't.
How dare you?
Lucius asks, do we see the no Russian mission in the new Modern Warfare 2? And you guys may have to help me, because I do not remember that campaign almost at all. I played it at launch in 2009, and I haven't played it since.
No Russian is the mission where you mow down unarmed civilians in order to generate fear.
Yes,
you absolutely should see No Russian in Modern. I'm fully on board with the idea
airport,
that you see it. Yeah, you need those moments as a catalyst for your hero's journey. I didn't think it was. Looking back, No Russian was a really good lesson. It was good for perspective, and it was important for the gaming industry to kind of have that moment. But in the moment when it was happening, I wasn't sure because of the political climate then, and that's what time and new things afford you.
But and that's the thing. First off, I don't think we're going to get like a 1-to-1 No Russian.
No,
I think you're going to get something similar,
right?
Because these are 1-to-1 stories. But what I will say, I'm very curious how they're going to balance this story because of the current political climate that is, like, Russia and Ukraine right now. Do we see them pull punches or not pull punches because of what's going on over there? That's what I'm actually really curious about, is how they juggle that stuff.
So Eric, Game Positive, says Modern Warfare 2 is a different story. It's not a remaster. So while you guys were talking, let's quickly looking this up. And it confirms. It says this game is a sequel to the 2019 game, not a remake of the 2009 game.
Correct. Yeah, we already had the remake of the 2009.
Yeah, and the remastered, yeah.
But I think Joe and I interpreted the question of if this is kind of a...
Will it have that moment?
Right, yeah. This is a modern take on Modern Warfare. And that's what the 2019 version did.
Yeah.
And it was great. But I will say Call of Duty also does... I didn't play Vanguard, but in the previous Call of Duties that all ones I've played, they have like warnings, especially since No Russian. They have like little warnings. Hey, this has this, you can skip these things. You can opt out of this element, that. And I think a No Russian experience is very important in this Call of Duty for it to truly capture the same level of emphasis, because I believe quite seriously that this one could be in the high 80s on Metacritic. This one could really shift the perspective on Call of Duty. Everybody loves a comeback story. Vanguard disappointed, Activision disappointed. Things are looking like they're getting better on all the fronts. That's going to have some bias in the media.
Xbox is going to officially buy Activision.
Do you have an inside source?
I do indeed, and it is
you should have a fake lawyer on your show to help you with it.
Is he still saying he's a lawyer? That's cute.
God, I hate that.
Oh, man.
He's so stupid.
I'm
not biased. Every thumbnail bias. What are you doing? Yeah, this is inside baseball.
Yes, it is. I'm sorry. I was reading famous Seamus's last comment about the games he's excited for, and it made me realize we forgot a few. So Splatoon 3 we did mention. We totally forgot about Mario and Rabbids. Sparks of Hope. First game was really good. The second game, it looks not to be more of the same, but to really expand upon it. So that's probably like that rare Nintendo game I get super hyped for because I'm usually not. But I'm very excited for that. I forgot about it. Luke, I can't believe you didn't mention Gotham Knights.
I did. I literally did.
Did you? Maybe I just blanked that game out of my memory because it doesn't look good.
The one that I didn't mention was Cowabunga Collection because I think of that as summer, not fall.
Fair.
Yeah. Okay.
That might be that's the reasoning.
And Pokemon, we said, of course. Which I know if you're a Pokemon fan, those games are supposed to be amazing. Why does Sean keeps asking me whatever game is going to score on Open Critic? I don't know.
I'm living.
This episode's been hijacked. Yeah, this episode's been hijacked by their fantasy league.
Yeah, it really has. Mario plus Rabbids, I think, is the only game on your fantasy that's on Open
It'll
Critic
score
that's
high.
Score high.
That's
on his fantasy league. That's the only one I'm truly concerned about. The rest, Call of Duty 87.
I think Gotham Knights scores high. By the way, I think Gotham Knights is mid-70s.
Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah,
7. I think it's a 7 game. Bass Digi says I'm excited for Thiamesia, which if you haven't picked, no, it's no, maybe
2 days.
2 days. Yeah, the end of this week. But the reviews came out today. Our review came out today, so if you haven't checked that out, definitely check that out.
Good, yes, because I saw gameplay of this one.
So Elu reviewed it. Elu is a massive From Software fan. He's the one who has like 600 hours in Elden Ring already. He loves Sekiro. He loves Bloodborne. He loves all those games. He said this is really good. He said it's not as deep as the From games, obviously, but he said the combat is second only to Sekiro. He said it's really, really good. He gave it a 7.5. He gave it a 7.5 on our score.
Like
it's like
combat
a $30 game.
From Software games.
It's a Souls-like game.
Right. But he's saying like combat's even better like than an Elden Ring or a Bloodborne. Like
I think from it's very action focused. So it's not going to be like a Souls game. It'd be more in the Bloodborne and Sekiro range. I think it's a faster game than Bloodborne, more action focused. So anyway, he was telling me he really liked it. Like I said, it's not going to be that 9 blockbuster, but for a small studio, it's supposed to be really good.
Honestly, I've been thinking about it more and more. I think, like, for me, Bloodborne, Elden Ring, and Sekiro are like the Father, Son, Holy Ghost to me, to my Bloodborne, or to my like From Software stuff. Like, I really love those 3 games. Like, I think they're perfect.
It's always funny to hear the top 3 for From fans, because mine would be Elden Ring and Bloodborne. I share with you, but then it's Souls 3.
Yeah, fair.
Well, Souls 3 is second, so it's Elden Ring, Souls 3, Bloodborne for me.
I think it's Elden Ring and the rest aren't that good.
Okay, Luke.
By the way, Save the Game Media, our friends over there, he said, does SG contribute to Open Critic? Yep. In fact, Thiamesia went up today. It was our 95th review on there, so we're almost at 100, which is, if you actually think about that one by one, that's a lot of reviews we put on Open Critic.
I think you can make some money here, though, Ains. He's talking about maybe skewing it to help this fantasy league. See that?
Oh, my PayPal's always open, so just DM me.
See, we're trying to get another Polymega.
We're seeing it live here. We're seeing it live here, folks. Sean Capri.
Collusion. There's collusion. Where were we going? You wanted about 10 minutes ago to lead into.
Yeah. Yes, I do want to lead into something. Modern Warfare set to come out in October and then have its Warzone 2 a few weeks later, which is a great thing to do, by the way. It's great marketing.
I'm going to derail you again.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, you're welcome. Today they announced if you pre-order digitally, you get the access to the campaign a week early. I don't like that at all. I don't know about you guys.
That's not cool. It's cool, but it's not a good practice. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool if you're the kid and you're like, I'm playing early, but like, who's benefiting from that? That's strictly marketing. That's strictly a marketing.
It's a money play, 100%. Yeah.
I don't like that. That's a bummer.
Yeah, it's annoying, especially for someone like me who collects steelbooks, because GameStop has the exclusive steelbook, which is awesome. But now,
see how that looks like.
Oh, you're gonna want it. But if you want to play the campaign, which I do, I either have to get a code, which I could, but I'm not reviewing it, or just wait a week, which is silly.
But I think waiting a week's okay for this type of game. This isn't.
Oh, I agree.
It doesn't. You know what I mean?
It doesn't bother me that I'm not going to play it till a week later. It bothers me the concept of it.
I agree with that. I think that's a good point. Life of P we left out. That's an interesting title, Bass DG.
Looks awesome. I'm so excited, Bass Digi, for Life of P. That will be
Wait, is that actually coming out this year?
There's no release date yet, but it will be at Gamescom next week. It's part of Xbox's show. So Xbox is at Gamescom next week, and Lies of P is on their list of games they're going to show. If you didn't know that. I don't know if everyone knew that or not.
They don't know that. They need their own Bloodborne, so here it is.
It'd probably be better. I mean, let's be honest.
Oh, this is a good steelbook.
Yeah.
Is it the two with Ghost's face?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's just the main operator's face, the skull face.
Isn't that Ghost?
Yeah, it's Ghost.
Ghost. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But no, it doesn't have the two. It doesn't have the logo. It's just.
Oh, gotcha.
You know what I mean? It's just a face. Yeah, Xbox got the marketing to Lies of P. So hopefully we get a release date next week for Lies of P. And if it does come out this year, that will definitely move up on my list of most wanted too. So Luke, how about that transition, man?
Oh yes, no, good transit or a good topic. I like that. That was a good thing to bring up. So the idea you have Modern Warfare coming out in October, mid-October, so mid to late October, I think.
28th.
28th. Okay. 28th. Late October. And then 2 weeks later, which is a great amount of time distance from the campaign and multiplayer release, you've got Warzone 2 in theory, if those leaks hold. To me, that's a great timeline to really let Call of Duty come back into its own if the game delivers. The concern, if you would call it that I have is, as Halo fans, we're really anxious to see what the next stage of Halo Infinite is because it launched so well and it really has gotten a deserved beating for its lack of content. So much so that even Joseph Staten has very clearly acknowledged, very plainly saying, like, our fans are unhappy. We are purposely slowing down our content to make sure our team is healthy. They're in desperate need of an injection of new player bases and interest in the franchise. And I think you very much have that potential when you have campaign co-op's official launch, Forge mode, and Season 3, coupled with the possibility of Project Tatanka, which has never been confirmed by official sources. And Tatanka, for anyone that's unsure, is the Battle Royale concept variation that could have made its way into other modes, by the way. But you have the potential for Halo to deliver pretty heavily. You could do it on the anniversary of the multiplayer reveal. You could do it on the anniversary of Halo itself. You could do it on the anniversary of Halo Infinite's campaign launch in early December. But Call of Duty will be occupying a number of headlines, and it very much seems like the media is on board with it this time. And so I'm curious to see how that impacts any potential revival for Halo Infinite and the interest in that game, in the franchise, in the Slipspace engine, in whatever it is that Infinite brings to the table, because people are ready for Call of Duty to have its comeback. And I'm going to go where I'm having the most fun. Probably play both, but like I'm going to have a favorite of the two. Joe, we know very clear our friend group's going to choose one kind of unceremoniously, and that's what we're going to play the majority of the time.
Well, I want to just shout out first and foremost the gold skin that's in the Halo shop right now.
Oh,
that was last week.
It was last week, but so good. I bought the mess out of it. And they did good because they gave it to you on every single core.
Mm-hmm.
Which
got it on my Ghost of Tsushima armor. I love it.
Remember that the one thing just to mention on that, because I'm too in the weeds on Halo as it is, cross core is coming. So cross core is where 343 is updating it so that skins and helmets and everything is usable across all the cores in the game. So they already released where visors are usable now. You can mix and match helmets and attachments to some degree right now. But if you buy a skin now that's only available on one, it will work on everything in the future. So
really,
it's good.
That's good to know.
Yeah. Like if you go now, like, and say no matter what core or helmet you use, right? When you go to your visor colors, you know the colors, it's every one you own now. You can use any of them. So,
but if I buy one now, that's going to apply later on when they do this. Good to know. Okay.
Yep.
Good. So it should be.
Yeah. So I think this kind of builds onto a bigger topic, which we started to talk about prior to going live, right? Which is which a few of us have mentioned. I think we mentioned on Bigcast before, and I know Travis and I were talking about, which is you've got PlayStation driving towards live service. We talked about that, last month or whenever we did on here, right?
Yeah.
You've got other companies, plenty of other companies investing big money into live service titles. You've got the Fortnites, the Apexes, the Warzones of the world, which are already huge. Obviously, Halo's gone that way. There's plenty of other titles moving that way. So Destiny's another good one, right? It begs the question of there's only so much room for live service titles. Like if you think about what you play actively and dedicate your time to, we were talking before the show that for me, my number one would be Halo. I don't think that's a surprise to anyone listening at Season Gaming here. I think the number one for Joe and Luke, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, is right now at least Sea of Thieves.
Yeah,
right.
I'm playing a lot of Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, so Sea of Thieves, right? And once you're like a live service game, if it's delivering well, right? It keeps you engaged. It's all about engagement and continual engagement, right? And so when you find yourself dedicating time to one of these, you really can only dedicate yourself to one or two of them at max. Sure, there's probably people who play more than that, but I mean, realistically. So what we're looking at is a fall where you're going to have Fortnite's just, I don't think Fortnite ever dies at this point. I think Fortnite's just going to, that it's its own conversation.
You see how much money they're printing right now off the Dragon Ball Z
so
stuff?
Bad. Like it's, if you, I look at the Xbox most played list every week, like, cause it, it shifts. Fortnite's number one, always, forever. Like, forget about it. But Warzone's always up there. Like, even from what I understand of the Call of Duty community, Warzone has kind of faded in the sense of it's had a lot of updates which have been poor and people moved off of it. Yet it's still in the top 10 to 15 played every week. So imagine when Warzone 2 hits with Modern Warfare 2, it's going to be massive, right?
It's going to be absolutely massive. Yeah.
Yeah. Apex Legends with season 14 that just came out last week, it has broke its concurrent player record on Steam. So it is more popular than it has ever been as well. It's also in the top 3 or 4 games on Xbox. I know, because I see that every week. So anyway, the conversation is, to your question, Luke, is 343 has delivered. We've talked about this ad nauseum here, so we'll keep the core of it quick, but fantastic core experience, right? They're not in a place where they're delivering consistently at a cadence that they need to for live service. Can they get to that point? And this is the question we talked about last time, by the end of the year. Season 3 is set to debut, funny enough, I think the first week of November, which means right around when God of War is hitting for PlayStation. Not that those two titles are similar, of course.
And in the midst of Call of Duty
as well, right? So season 3 hits. In my opinion, what they would need to do, right, is by then campaign co-op should be out, so that'll be behind them, right? Release Forge in the beta. That's the plan, is that Forge comes with season 3, so you get Forge into the hands of everyone as it sits, at that period of time a few months from now. But they have to come out and have a better roadmap cadence leading into 2023, right? They can't, I mean, they can, I don't think they should have a 6-month season for season 3, right? They need to come out at season 3, say, here's our new battle pass, here's the updates we're making to it, we've heard you, here's more cross-core stuff, we're going to do more events over the course of the season, we're going to release more maps over the course of the season, and the season, season 4, whatever it ends up being, will be here by February, right? That'll be 3 months. And they need to get into that 3-month cadence. Certain Affinity, assuming all the rumors are true, and if they're going to release this fall, whatever it looks like, my opinion would be you don't even announce this until it is in a state that you believe can go toe-to-toe with Apex and Warzone 2. I think if you release this Battle Royale in a beta or phase stage where it's light on content or it's light on dynamics or gameplay, and you don't have the proper kind of battle pass, cosmetic upgrades, whatever the systems it has in place, right? They have to be ready to go on day one. I don't think you launch a Battle Royale against Warzone 2 and Apex and Fortnite for that matter, even though it sits out there by itself, without being ready to go. I just
drop
think
it.
You can do that.
Drop the Battle Royale mid to late January, where you're past your hype of Warzone 2 and whatever Fortnite Apex response is. Fortnite can respond quickly. It's shown that it does that. Apex does not respond quickly, but Fortnite does. However, when Halo Infinite launches, whatever it's going to do, they have routinely seen spikes when they do things with Twitch drops. And sometimes
what game? I'm sorry,
Infinite.
Oh yeah,
Infinite. Yeah. And really Microsoft games like Sea of Thieves as well. Twitch drops are hugely important to raising interest in things. People will log in and look and watch and whatnot. And I hope that whenever Microsoft does this, because they've got a mixed track record of supporting the launch of something. And I cite the incredible Hot Wheels expansion that got zero love from Microsoft. You need Twitch drops. You need Twitch drops. You need everything to bring eyes to your game.
The other thing I forgot, Luke, which ties into that, you made me remember, which I can't believe I forgot of all people. The Halo World Championship is in October. I'm going to it in Seattle, for God's sakes, and I forgot about it. I booked my flight this morning. That's not even a joke. Like, that's my mind is going. But the Halo World Championship. So if you follow HCS, you may not know this, but one, HCS is huge. Like, championship series are big for the competitive side of the game, right? Rocket Leagues is huge. Fortnite's was huge. Call of Duty's is huge, et cetera, et cetera. Halo's is actually very well received. Most people don't realize that the numbers that HCS sees online right now are about double what they were with the last championship seasons in 2017, 2018. So it's done very well. But season 2 starts at the end of the year as well. So right around when season 3 of the normal multiplayer is coming out, the World Championship will have finished, and HCS season 2, which they're already road mapping, is beginning. So they have to figure out how to tie all this together. And I think that's where sometimes they do it really well, sometimes they don't. So I don't know. You know me. I've said before that the next 6 months are critical. The tail end of this year, we'll know a lot better where what do you call it? Where Halo sits.
You know, I'm not optimistic. Forge looks incredible. I'm not taking anything away from that, but also things that you do in dreams are incredible. Like that Elden Ring thing we saw. Someone made like a landscape of Elden Ring in dreams. Cool. That's neat. That's neat. But that's not. I don't know how much that's driving folks to go play that. In regards to like Halo, not to say it's 1-to-1 or whatever, but think about it like this. There are some really impressive creations in that Forge thing, but you are then now playing the hotness that is Call of Duty. And let's just say it is hitting its, what it's meant to do, Call of Duty, with, its multiplayer, with its Warzone, to try to match that hype going, hey, look at, there's this Forge mode. I don't know if that's the thing that's going to get people for switching back from Call of Duty to Halo. I don't know if that's it. I think Halo, and I hope the fans are comfortable of it being bigger than it once was, but still not being like Apex or Call of Duty levels of big. I don't know if like
Forge is good. I know what you're saying about Forge, but Forge is going to be really good for custom games.
Sure.
It's going to be really good for bringing eyes to the franchise and showcasing the engine, at least based on everything we've seen so far. But you're right. Yeah. That is not something that, like, none of us are going to build levels. I don't care about any of that. I want to play the video game. And it's not a new idea.
Sorry, Luke, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's not a new idea, but when that battle royale is ready, if it's real, which we all at this point I think are seeming to take it as it's real, but like when it's ready, it needs to just drop. No announcement, no anything, just drop. Twitch drops, boom, here it is. And let it happen. Because otherwise you run the risk of becoming Battlefield Firestorm? Where you have this like, Battlefield cool engine, but like it was how we tried. We worked really hard on it. Here we go. And not as good as Warzone.
And don't forget that Firestorm was behind a paywall too. You had to own the game.
Yeah,
and Battlefield 5 wasn't great. So
it needs to be its own thing. You might even launch that in its own client. If you could like have an option.
Oh, it has to be.
Have an option to have its own client. I'd rather it all be in one menu for myself, but like whatever it is, just drop it, link it to Twitch drops for several weeks. Put out a good battle pass, make a lot of stuff free. If you've paid for the battle pass in Halo season anything, you get the first battle pass free. You need people in this thing to showcase the gameplay because the gameplay is top notch. And you guys know we played a lot of Apex at one point. We played a lot of Fortnite build mode. Played a lot of Warzone actually. Now that I'm saying that, the only one we never really touched was PUBG.
That's right.
How dare you?
It wasn't that good.
It wasn't that good.
Not good.
See, look, here we go. We didn't play it. It's not that good.
Not that good.
Stop playing. No. This is what I was trying to talk.
We played it a bit enough to say that
enough to say I don't need to do this anymore. There's better options.
The inventory system is garbo. Like that Call of Duty inventory system is beautiful.
I'm literally drafting an article right now, Joe, about why, like, how much time you should spend in a game if it's not fun for you. And I have not decided on my final thesis thoughts, and I don't even know if I'm going to finish it soon because work is so crazy. But like, I'm not gonna like. Why do I want to play something that's mediocre next to something that's incredible?
Right? Culture.
Pompa's right.
Warzone's better than PUBG. I don't even play Warzone that much anymore, but it's better than PUBG. Or at least it was. I haven't played PUBG recently, but I'm saying I'm not going to stay in a game that is lackluster. Dude, that game looked like a 2006 PC game when it was on my Xbox One X, and people were like, "Bro, look at the Xbox power of the One X. Here we go. PUBG,
look at the water, guys.
Look at Brendan. He's player unknown." And it was
guys, look at the water.
This Arma 2? What is this?
Get over. It has the Joker in it.
So
that was the weirdest crossover ever. Never. It was like the bad Joker too.
It was the bad Joker, yeah, and it has Harley Quinn. You still see her in the games. So Forge, the only thing I would say about what you guys said about Forge is what it does do, right, is it drives a big portion of the core Halo community, which is already the core Halo community, so that's not bringing new players in, but they create a lot of content off it. And in today's world, YouTube videos, streams, etc., those add up. So for instance, when people are playing custom games, wild custom games, or they're forging, right, and they're streaming that builds up to your stream audience, which moves you up on Twitch, which moves people getting eyes on Halo. It all ties together, right? But it has to, there's rumors that Forge will not launch, just rumors, with a custom game browser, which is where the long term is. So like when you go to your multiplayer in Halo, you can play your 4-on-4s, your big team battles, you can play ranked, or you can play look through custom game browser, so you can match make into custom games. That's when it starts to get more important, because then the community can sustain itself. So that's that's actually important. As for the Tatanka mode, or whatever, the battle royale for Halo, whatever it is, I kind of already said my piece on it. But the only thing to imagine, right, in my head, what I'm imagining, the rumor is that, keep in mind, they already have the foundation for the first map on Zeta Halo. That's where the campaign is, right? So you have this huge world that you can pull from. And the rumor was that in a battle royale, all the locations, as you know, the drop zones are, named, right? Is that they were going to be built around classic Halo maps. So one section of the Zeta Halo running would be Blood Gulch, and one section would be Lockout, and one section would be X and Last Resort, and all these things spread across the map, which, if you combine that with Halo gameplay, Infinite gameplay, the vehicle sandbox, the weapon sandbox from like Fiesta, right? And finding stuff like that, it's all there. Like the pieces are all there, but you have to put it together, and you have to give people a reason to keep engagement high. That's where Halo traditionally hasn't been good. The skill gap, Pomp and I talk about this all the time. The skill gap and the competitiveness is what keep players like me and him playing it, right? But the Fortnite, the Apexes, those games, Apex has its own skill gap, so that's a different conversation. But their battle passes are intuitive. They have constant updates to skins and cosmetics. They make you kind of want to engage to get new things and unlock them. And 343 hasn't been good at that yet.
No, absolutely not. Hey, you also talked before the show about like more of these live service games, because I think you mentioned there was a Paul Tassi article saying we need more live service games and all that. Would you like to dive into that a little bit before we head on out of here?
Yeah, I didn't get all the details. I know that Paul wrote an article about there needs to be more live service, which I don't know why you'd say that when we already know there's tons of more live service coming. Hogue,
he covers them.
Okay,
just to throw that out there, that's like his bread and butter. Covers all.
Oh no, I know, but I mean, like, it's not that. Never mind. And then I know Hogue did a video saying like, no, not everything has to be live service, and I think
a real lawyer.
There's sometimes he gets DMs from other people who think they're lawyers asking him lawyer questions so they can sound intelligent. Isn't that crazy?
No way. Would you like to name drop him? You don't want to get too saucy for that. I get it.
No.
That's fair. Yeah, you don't. Too much sauce is overwhelming. I get it, Ains. No, that's cool. Drink your cup. We're all drinking cups. Pretend like we're not saying this. Yeah.
So anyway, live service titles. Damn it, got me all off track now.
Fire.
I forget what I was gonna say. I literally forget what I was gonna say. I'm totally lost.
So Paul Passy wrote an article about live services. Hogue made a video.
So I think anyway that I think the point is that there is a kind of a peak or a breaking point to where there will be live service titles that release, right? We've kind of talked about this with PlayStation, talking about they want to have 12 live service titles. And I guess the question is, if there are, I'm just making this up, of course, but if there's 50 live service titles, big budget live service, I'm not talking about smaller games, but the Apexes, the Fortnites, the ones we keep mentioning, right? How big of the player base within the gaming community, and we know that's growing year over year as well, but how many can it support realistically? Because a good live service title, again, the games we've mentioned, Destiny's, Warzones, Halo, etc., Fortnite, they cost a lot of money and a lot of development time to maintain, right? And the good ones make a ton of money, billions of dollars. But we've seen plenty of other games come and go that have tried to do this and fail. And I just think that there's going to be, over the next several years, a laundry list of developers and games that try to kind of make it big with a live service title and fail. And it's going to be an interesting few years within the gaming industry to watch that manifest itself, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I think, when PlayStation's like, we want to have 10 live service games by 2026 or whatever, I always say it on the trophy room of like, they want 10, but how many of those are we expecting to hit? Like, I think they're lucky if they get 1 or 2 of those games to be, those pretty much money farms, right? Like, I think the Last of Us multiplayer thing, whatever that comes to be, I think that actually has the best chance for them. But like Twisted Metal, is that really going to be a big,
I hope so,
a big thing for them? I don't know. Like, truthfully, I don't know. I would like it to be as well, but I don't know. So that's what I'm thinking. Is like I think you're right, Ains. I think a lot of companies are going to try. I think a lot of companies are going to fail. And I think a lot of developers are going to be hurt by this as well. Because you just see a lot of them. Like, I mean, take a look at like Fortnite. Everything's been kind of Fortnite-ified. We were taking a look at Rumbleverse, which I hear good things. But in our private chat, you're like, look at this menu. It's pretty much just like Fortnite, right? Like, there's so many games that are just trying to either copy pieces of it or trying to understand what works in it and bring it into their games, whether it's art style or what have you. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think this is a little. So let me. Sorry, I had 2 thoughts in my head. So there's something I want to add to what you just said, Joe. But Lucius was asking about, does Halo try and do like its own kind of client and things so that they can do a mobile version of whatever Halo's VR is? I think you may see that down the line. The reason he asked that is he's right. If you didn't know this, that Call of Duty Mobile and PUBG Mobile are massive games. Sure. They both make over $1 billion a year, just the mobile versions. Yeah, so they're it obviously financially makes sense to go there. In my opinion, 343 obviously has to deliver the core battle royale experience and make that excellent and sticky to customers before they try to go mobile. To your point, Joe, as you were talking, I pulled up the most played on Xbox, which I said I looked at all the time. Funny enough, Fortnite's number 1. It always is. Just start at number 2. Modern Warfare is number 2. The 2019 Modern Warfare this week is number 2, probably because of the hype for Modern Warfare 2, like we said. Apex is now up to number 3. Grand Theft Auto 5 is always up there, number 4. Roblox is always up there, number 5. Fall Guys, Rainbow Six Siege, Minecraft, Destiny. Forza Horizon 5 still in there, Rocket League. These are all always in the top 10. And my point
shout out to Multiverses, by the way.
Yeah, Multiverses is number 9 right now.
Awesome. Yeah.
And then Cold War, Dead by Daylight, Red Dead 2, Halo's right there. Halo's always in the top 20. People think, people say Halo's dead. It's always in the top 20 played.
Xbox is also dead.
That's right. Sony
Dead
said
game
a
on a
mean
dead
thing, and I
console.
think we need to make that the thumbnail of this video. So Sony said a mean thing in Brazil.
It's true. It's true. But the point is that if you look at the top 20 games played, it's these successful live service games that are the top 20 played. You'll see a single player game or something jump in here briefly and then disappear, right? And when you have the template for all these games that are making billions of dollars, of course the industry is going to drive towards it. I just think we're probably going to, I don't know. I get concerned that we're going to have too much focus on live service over the next few years. A lot of it's going to be delivered poorly.
Eating shit, guys. It's below Farming Simulator 2022 right now. Oh my.
So the anyway, I just think that you focus too much on live service. You're gonna there's probably at least some of those that could have gone a better direction if they had focused development resources elsewhere. But the gaming industry is a trendy industry. I mean, it's going to follow the money. It's going to follow the players, like most things. So,
didn't Rockstar shut down Red Dead Online?
Red Dead Online
practically.
It's all it's like Anthem. It's all still there. They're just not adding to it anymore.
And I've seen a lot of games shut down services, games that haven't been out very long. And I don't even just mean like Marcus Lato's Disintegration. I'm talking like bigger games have just tried to have online components, multiplayer components, live service elements, et cetera, et cetera. There was the dodgeball one that was there for a little bit and really exciting for a bit.
Knockout City.
Right. Yeah. A lot of those things are happening, but the costs for servers are high. And if your game is big budget and you're not seeing ROI or return of investment on them, then insider knowledge, then keeping it online just isn't practical. And we're now seeing, I think, a trend where as many games are coming out that are live service, we're also seeing a push towards single player, a push towards being clarifications on things. Gotham Knights is not live service. I often say that it is based on the nature of what they tell me, but I keep getting consistently people are like, no, not live service, because it's a functionally different game. But the cost of keeping those servers open demands that you have a high player count or an actively engaged and spending player count. And otherwise it's just not realistic. And so I think you're going to see kind of the pendulum effect after this next phase where you're seeing a lot more single player stuff, not in lieu of, but next to, because sometimes not every company can make an online everything. Like good example. I'm sorry, I'm going on with this one, but like Cowabunga Collection, 13 retro Ninja Turtle titles. So excited for them. They're adding online elements and components for multiplayer for several of them. What's the demand on that? What's the real demand on that? Not like me being salty, but what's the real demand on it? I don't think it's that high.
It's a nostalgia play.
Nostalgia play, but like
it's a nostalgia play because you're trying to recreate couch co-op with online, which people always I know where you're going. I think, Luke, tell me, but people always demand that. Like they want to play these 2D, like Cuphead never got online co-op. Like I always wanted to play it. But if we're being realistic, I probably would have played it for an hour or two and then never played it again.
Right.
Which I think is what's going to happen with Turtles. You're going to have a handful of people that jump in with friends. We post clips for a week or two, and then that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, exactly. I also think like of EA right now, where, they tried the live service stuff with Anthem. They'll definitely try it again. But like, look at how many games that they now have where you have games like Jedi Survivor. You have games like, Skate, I think is something that's going to be somewhat live servicey for them. But like, I think it's taking a look at, what setting out realistic goals for each, team out there. Like, I think EA has plans for Skate, but I don't think they think that Skate's going to be the thing that dethrones Fortnite. Whereas, you're seeing them go, okay, there's demand here for Dead Space. Let's bring Dead Space back. Let's remake it from the ground up. Let's not just try to throw a Dead Space somehow multiplayer thing in here like we did with, Dead Space 2. So like, and even some of their projects that are rumored, like an Iron Man game or a Black Panther game, doubt those games are going to be live service, knock on some type of wood. So I think, yeah, it works for some. I think the ones that do have those live service elements, talk again about EA, I think you're going to have one or two of those games in your library that kind of keep those single player games coming. So like your Apex, your FIFA, your Maddens are probably keeping those games like Dead Space and whatever Hazelight does, running for them to go and do those creative things, whether it's with license or their original IP. I think that's the game plan with, Sony as well when we talk about, the Destiny play. And I think that's the major play with Microsoft right now when we're talking about Halo, we're talking about Call of Duty, we're talking about, Sea of Thieves, we're talking about World of Warcraft, all these things, MMOs, whatever have you. And then you get games like Pentiment. Right, like you get these weird quirky things out of them. So I think the live there, it's not that we need more of them, I think we need a balance of them. And I think what Paul is kind of probably like signal flaring in the sky is more are coming. Expect a whole lot.
Yeah I think that's fair. And
expect too much.
I think like anything else, right, the developer, the players will drive the industry because they're going to dictate to the developers what they enjoy. And they've done that for 3 to 5 years now with the Fortnites and Apexes, the games we keep mentioning. And so that's where we're going to see more drive. Whether or not, games can reach that level is another question. But if nothing else, you will find probably more that you enjoy. And I think, as we always say, even though we've been talking about kind of this broader conversation, the thing that we always say here and on this channel and your guys' shows is that it's never been a better time to be a gamer, because even though it may sound like we're being, or maybe just me, a little negative on a future of live service, to Joe's point, if you look at like PlayStation, for example, they're still investing more into single player than they ever have before. What they call traditional titles. That's the word they use. Xbox is doing the same. We know, look at all the big major single player games Xbox has coming. So I think no matter what you like, it's going to be a fantastic time. I just think that games are getting so expensive to develop, as we know, and so challenging to develop. And there's so much, the expectations for what a game delivers and how it delivers it continue to grow, right? As we get these bigger and better experiences, there are going to be some developers and companies and other things left in the dust as per usual.
Yeah. I wonder if there's going to be a tipping point as well, as again, games are getting way more expensive to make. Like, is there a point where they can't satiate it? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's always what I'm thinking in my mind. I don't know. Maybe I'm dumb.
No, I think you're right. And I part of the bigger equation for me is like, so say you're Xbox, PlayStation, whatever, right? Are you willing to take a loss? Say a game like Pentiment, right? Yeah. You have to know that that's a smaller team of Obsidian. You have no idea how that's going to do or what you're going to make from it. Obviously, they have all kinds of analytics we'll never have access to, right? But how many people are actually going to buy Pentiment or be a new subscriber to Game Pass to play Pentiment? What does that look like? And does that equal out your investment? And if it doesn't, is that okay? Because you have a game like Sea of Thieves where people continue to invest money in it and it's profitable over a long period of time. So you can take a loss on a game like Pentiment because you're doing it for your ecosystem. It's a game you want in your ecosystem. So there's a line item there in your balance sheet which says we'll take a loss here, even because we know that this X percentage of community really enjoyed this game and got them, to appreciate Game Pass that month, even though it's niche and lost us money, because we can make up for it with the Halo Infinite over here, the Sea of Thieves, or whatever else is over here making money.
I don't think it's even just that. I think they're trading more like with games like Pentiment, where, and perhaps even another example would be Bleeding Edge. It's not that the game is going to do anything for them. It's that they generate goodwill with the talent creating games. Yeah. And if they show the talent, hey, we're going to support you. We want content. We want you to make your content. And if the talent, particularly the guy behind Pentiment, is very well regarded.
Yes. And very good writer.
And as he's speaking about working with Xbox, he's talking to people that's bringing good limelight. to the people involved, and that's going to attract talent over time, which they're going to need. My fear, this accidentally echoes with what I talked with Ed Freeze about, which is not meant to be a plug. It sounded like it was, but remember he said his fear was that it would become like Netflix. The fear is if you attract all the talent, and then once you've got all that talent, you don't get an ROI on it on what you need. You don't get the subscription numbers, and then you start doing what Netflix is doing at making ads, stop canceling all the shows people seem to want, and that is the fear of Game Pass 10, 15 years from now.
Yeah.
Did I go down I feel like I went
No,
down
you went down a great rabbit hole.
I think it's a great point. Because we've seen more than probably ever before just because of the nature of the industry right now in social media, but we see the impact that negativity and bad working conditions have on studios. And I think Xbox, to a degree that we know anyway, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, right? But it visually to us, it looks like they're trying to do what they can to make it a great place to work for the studios that they have managed. And so, yeah, I think you're spot on.
Absolutely.
There you go.
DE says, I'm wondering if Pentiment's going to be like Blair Witch, low budget, high profit, or am I dumb? It's all Microsoft. It's all profit because it's first party. So it's all first party. It's not all necessarily profit, right? So the Pentiment will cost X amount of total money to make and market. And then, like I was saying, you'll have to do a calculation because Xbox is hard, right? Because of Game Pass. So we don't know how Xbox defines success or defines profit or revenue on individual titles within a catalog of a subscription service. It would be kind of like saying, how did, I don't know, pick a, what's a show on Netflix? I mean, Stranger Things is huge, right? But that's huge. But I was trying to think of something a little more obscure.
Sandman, right? Is there something called Sandman out now?
Yeah, that's
Lost
huge.
in Space.
Okay. So say Lost in Space, right? Like we don't know if Lost in Space financially was profitable for Netflix, right? Because it's one show in a catalog of hundreds, and who knows? They make that decision. But that's to Luke's point. The concern is what happens when you do start to release these games. Bleeding Edge, probably not. I guess it's a small example.
It was the first example of them letting a game happen that maybe shouldn't have happened.
Yes, and then even though it wasn't a big hit, there is a community that loves it, right? And then all of a sudden your game's gone. Anthem's probably the biggest one we talk about all the time, right? There's a core community that loved that game and got hyped for it continuing, and then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, we're not doing that. Which, that's going to happen more and more. 100% that'll happen more and more.
Absolutely. Also, I do want to end on a note. PlayStation said a mean thing about Xbox in Brazil, and then Microsoft said something really mean about Sony in Brazil, and then they're all being a little catty, but like PlayStation seems to be the pettier of the ones. And then also, what is this, a podcast? And I'm on a show talking to my friends about video games. Remember that reference? That was a reference to Forspoken. Remember that? Everybody made fun of it. And then everybody said the same thing about it. Listen to podcasts carefully. If you're a big podcast,
he did not. He wants you to know he did not.
I don't know what's happening right now.
There was a really bad Forspoken trailer, which, by the way, the game doesn't look as bad as it's getting panned.
Wait, what was there a good one?
No, it's like a promotional video of the main character.
I know. I didn't know what you were referencing, though. I gave up on that game a long time ago.
So I'm here, and I got magic, and there's swords.
But it's a video every game. Podcast I've listened to goes, it sounds like a early 2000s Marvel movie. How about this, y'all? Being creative and thinking of things is hard. That's why everybody's thinking of to critique it. It's like a Marvel thing. How about get your own goddamn critique? If you're gonna make fun of this thing, at least be original about it, okay? At least be original. All right.
And I'll say this about Forspoken as someone I don't think that game looks great.
Nah.
But I'll tell you what, if it's fun, I'm there. If it's fun, I'm there. And could be, could be.
Who knows?
Keep delaying it till you have a good game. That's what I'll say.
Delayed game is bad for a good game.
No, but I'm being dead serious. I think that game looks like a mess. What we've seen so far, but
don't forget what Miyamoto said, though, Ains.
That's not to say it can't be
clip your
toenails.
Not
to say it can't be a great game when it releases.
He said, clip your toenails, and if you're a Trump supporter, go home and brush your tooth.
Not even deep. I like that one. Yeah.
My God. Well,
He
boys.
said it, not us. I condemn it all.
Oh man.
I think Luke's just trying to cover up the fact that he was there January 6th.
Hey, come on. Not
Guys,
me.
come on. Some person that doesn't have a backbone is gonna get really upset with us.
Yeah. They're gonna tweet mean
The
things.
sad thing is he can't even go to a shaman. He's locked away.
Oh, and he can't even find his safe.
You guys be nice. He's had a really rough week, okay?
Let's try.
They raided his. They can't believe they stormed.
All right. Rein it back in.
All right. So I want to give a cool spotlight to my most recent episode. I had a really, really great interview with the people from RimWorld. And if you're unfamiliar, RimWorld's a really popular PC game. And you got to be careful when you're Googling that, by the way. But really popular PC, really popular PC game. Them talking about how they translated that to a controller was really fascinating. Really good thing there that I hope to get a few more ears on. But I have in the next week or two, I haven't decided when I'm going to drop this one, but probably the biggest interview in XCP history. It's already recorded. Hey, look at them nodding. They know who it is.
Yeah.
Really proud of it. Took me over a year to get, but I finally got it recorded. Almost the track almost didn't save properly too.
Oh,
dude.
God.
Yeah, it was one of those, but it's the biggest interview in XCP history for sure. And I'm not going to sit on it until 150 because I'm at 143. I'm not going to sit on it that long. No. Now it's coming out sooner than later. But I got another one that's not quite as, but it's big for me that I'm looking forward to, and I'm waiting to figure out because time zones are difficult and Gamescom's going on. And so trying to line stuff up with my work schedule, I'll probably get up at like 2 a.m. to accommodate this one. But
dude, I can do it whenever you want.
Ains, I'm gonna need you in mid-September because with all the stuff that they put on my plate at work, they put 4. I have 3 new job titles. So I'm gonna need your help. I'm gonna need guests, boys, and you're it. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just want to say shout out to that one. Please keep your eye on XCP soon.
That's next week, right? As you're listening to this.
The Double 11 one for RimWorld is out now. And the big one will either be this week coming up, as you listen to this, or the week after, depending on a few other things.
Okay.
But yeah,
cool.
I'm so excited.
Cool.
So excited.
It's awesome. I'm excited to listen to it. Seriously.
It's good. It's good.
I like when friends get wins. That's all I can say. And I think this is the if I can hype you up for a little bit, I think this is one of the biggest things for like Xbox podcasts.
Thank you.
Like, this is huge.
Thank you.
This is huge. And knowing you, it is going to be fantastic. You can find me over at the trophy room where each every.
I
thought we're going second. I thought Ains goes out.
No. I was going to make
wait, I go out. I go last because I do the like. Yeah.
Hey, Nude HD's here. What's up, guys? Good to see you.
Them.
Look at
Oh my God, that's adult dating site.
Oh my God! All right,
cool. In my area.
I knew they were close by.
I know, man. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I'm going to delete the bot, but I'm bookmarking.
They say they're down for sucking in, and that's crazy. That's nuts.
No, I was actually going to make a quip about something and then decided not to. So go ahead, Joe. You're fine.
Fair enough. So you don't have anything to pimp out for CC Gaming? Like you don't have the
no, I was waiting for you.
No. Remember, I usually like do the outro. I do the end.
Unless you're gonna start.
Remember how the show worked?
Okay.
Unless you want to be like,
so Season Gaming, welcome. What do I have to talk about? Thiamesia review is up on the site right now. Cult of the Lamb review is up on the site right now. We should have coverage on Saints Row next week. Obviously Bigcast every Sunday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern if you like to join us live. And although this week, as you're listening to this or watching us live, we are taking a week off, which we hardly ever do. So we will be no Bigcast this weekend, but next weekend, the 28th, we are having, if all lines up, similar to Luke, we're having a very big guest on. to have a bigger conversation with the four of us. So keep your eyes peeled for that one because it should be a really good one.
Ooh, I don't know who this one is.
I don't know.
No, I haven't even told you guys yet. I just realized.
No, it's cool.
So I'll DM you shortly.
Okay.
But yeah, keep your eye for that. Otherwise, just appreciate all the support. We've been growing like crazy at the channel. We passed 13,500 subs. I think we passed 13,000 like a week and a half ago, and I already have another 500. So we've been cruising right along, and it's really great to see. So thank you. Oh, and my leg I can finally walk again. So I just did a statue unboxing yesterday, and I have quite literally 4 major statue boxes sitting right there. So just keep an eye on some big statue unboxings and reviews on the site.
I can't get a
I asked
Mega.
Ames. I was gonna say I asked Ames to help pay for my student loans. He said get a second job.
I want you to appreciate that education, Joe.
That's right.
He's
really
actually building a
appreciate
third
it.
garage. He's building a third garage for his statues.
Yep. Just to keep somewhere. God damn it. Anyway, you can find me.
And I
over
was
at-
gonna send you a Poly Mega.
Were you really?
Not now.
I really
Not
was.
now.
Ames, can I get one?
Maybe.
Okay, cool. I'll rub your feet. No.
I'll do
I
more.
heard you guys are into those type of stuff.
Whatever
You can
Joe
find
does,
me
I'll do
over-
more. We gotta go.
I know, we really do.
If you ever want insight into our DMs, this is it. This is it. Right here.
This really is it, man.
And by the way,
I'm trying, audience. I'm trying to get us out of here.
Eric just reminded me he did a review of the Victrix Gambit Xbox tournament controller. That is up on the channel as well, and it's getting a lot of hits. So people seem very positive on it. So check that out. Thank you. Bye.
Is that the wired one with the back paddles?
Yes.
They're sending me that one. That's really that can't be right. Is it back paddles and it's wired?
You just
That's
asked that.
for sure.
I said yes.
Oh, okay, sweet. They're sending me one to play with, but I okay. I'll explain why I didn't think that was the right thing.
It's almost like if you check the channel and watch the video, you'd know.
Yeah.
I've been busy.
No, you haven't. No, you haven't.
This week I have. It's Tuesday. Really hope it came out this week.
Oh boy. You can find
Joe,
the
are
Trophy
you ready
Room,
yet?
a PlayStation podcast, where each and every Thursday, me and my best friend Kyle talk about the latest and greatest in all things PlayStation. This week, we're going to be talking a whole lot about Cult of the Lamb. We're going to be talking about that Marvel plus Disney showcase, what we'd like to see. It's a slow news week. Please don't judge us. And we're going to talk a whole lot about Roller Drome, because Kyle and I both played it and both enjoyed it a whole lot. So go make sure you follow us there at the Trophy Room Show over on YouTube and wherever you find your podcast service of choice. You can find us there. Rate us 5 stars. If you do, you get entered to win a copy of The Last of Us Part 1 on the house. There you go. So, you can still boycott it and get it.
$70 for it.
Looks like we're doing it twice, boy. All that and more. Oh, and I think maybe there's an episode before, but we're doing a huge Trophy Room Community Day over on twitch.tv/PS Trophy Room. Huge Community Day, a whole lot of announcements, a whole lot of celebrations, and all that stuff
What
with the
day?
community. August 27th.
Sweet. Next weekend.
Yeah.
Cool.
Next weekend. There you go.
2 weekends. Yeah. Okay.
So with all that said, with all that out of the way, I don't know how to end the show. What do I get?
Keep
You're
You're supposed to keep doing something.
keep cast. I had to remember the outro. Keep casting. That cool.
It's too long. You gotta stop it. It's too much.